Greetings, greetings. I'm super excited. This is coming out to you in May, in the same month as we're getting ready to do United Supreme Council. This is the Moving Camp podcast from the United Supreme Council of Ancient Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry Prince Hall Affiliate, Northern Jurisdiction, United States of America Incorporated. Again, every once in a while, you got to drop the full thing just to fill the off, right? So I am your humble host. My name is Sublime Prince Stephen Barrett, and today I'm really truly excited because I have somebody on here that's going to be on the podcast that now I can say is truly a friend. I've interacted with her a couple of times. We've cracked some jokes together. She's given me some great wild advice that's been very impactful in my Masonic career. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce for me because this is the Orient, Michigan. So I'm gonna get hype. The past state Grand Loyal Lady ruler, the name of Loyal Lady Gail Freeman. Little Lady Freeman, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. And it's good to be able to be on this podcast with you. And as you know, spoken before, we have met. Now we are friends.
We are
So I'm really excited about this because there's a lot of things that our group is doing, and we really want everybody to get on board with us.
absolutely, absolutely. So for the people that's going to be new out here, I want to introduce something of this concept. If you didn't see the other podcast, she's part of the Order of Golden Circle working group. So what I'm gonna do is I'm turned over to you. So, Little Lady Freeman, if you don't mind explaining a little bit about like what the group is, how it started, some of your purpose, like kind of walk us through that for some of the people that might not be aware.
The working group it consists of 22 ladies of the Orient in the Northern jurisdiction of the United Supreme Council. The purpose, we started back in 2020. I think it was December. And the whole purpose of the group, when it was established through the Sovereign Grand Commander, Dr. Melvin J. Bazemore, our purpose was to identify key initiatives that would enhance the Scottish Rite experience of being interested and excited for all members of the Order of the Golden Circle. So once we got started, we was trying to figure out, okay, what is our objective? Okay, our objective is to exemplify, review, and codify the ritualistic work across the Northern jurisdiction. And this is with all of the loyal ladies and the members of the Golden Circle. We were working on the ritualistic to be uniformity, because as a lot of us know that work, everybody's doing something different. We're not all doing the same thing in our different orients. So our job was to get us uniformity. And that was the main thing that the sovereign wanted us to do. So what we did, we got together with the 22, and we were working on the rituals first. And as we always said, it's a marathon and not a sprint. And there are some things that have happened in that ritual that is, needed some corrections. However, we are correcting those as we go. So, you have to excuse us a little bit when you see those errors, but we are giving the correct information out. Now, the highlights, if I may, at this time, the highlights that we have done is we finished the ritual. That was really a job that we really took on, and we really gave it our best. Now that we know what we is committed, expected of the group, we're working on the manual. And we've always said that this manual will be ready for them at the United Supreme Council in May. It is ready. It is ready. And of course, it's not going to be gold. A lot of people saying, oh, please don't give us another gold book. No, we're going to have a green book. But anyway, it's going to be ready. And it's so good to know that we as a team, I call the 22 our team, we are really working hard. We are not only making the decision ourselves, we're reaching out to the members of all the different orients. The 22, a lot of people say, well, how did they get picked? If I might say,
Yep.
the way that we were chosen to do this job, it went through the Sovereign Grand and the deputies. This was not a job or I want to say a love token, if that's the right word. This wasn't a job that we asked to be on, or a project, shall I say. It's not really, it's a job, it's a project. but it was something that the sovereign had said he wanted the lower ladies involved. And I've already said, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Mhm.
And you know, a lot of times when you're on the menu, you're going to get cut up. So what we've done is we've gotten together and when we did the manual, you know, we meet maybe twice, three times a month. And this
Wow.
manual, I mean, it was some hard doing, but we have it straight. There's been a lot of changes that have been taking place, but we know that it's to the best of our group. Like I said, not the group of just the 22. It starts at, you got your deputy. Well, you got the sovereign first. It's a chain of command. As everybody know, there is a chain of command that you have to take. And as the lower ladies, we go to our state grand lower lady ruler, and she goes to her deputy. So if we have a problem, our overseer over the 22 is Brother Darnell. He answers the questions that we might have a concern with. Then if he can't answer those, he always go to the higher being, which is the sovereign grand commander.
Got it.
So I hope that answers some of the questions that you might have, but we are working with all of the ladies, not just the 22.
No, I like that, and I can feel the passion from what you're speaking of how these things is coming through. And again, you said you guys are meeting 2 or 3 times a month, so that's quite frequently for these Masonic organizations. So again, hats off to you and the group. So the question I had here for you is, at the United Supreme Council, at the session here, what is the function of the Order of the Gordon Circle? Like what's going on, like some of those items and things of that nature for individuals to notate.
Okay. At the session this year, we are going to perform the initiation. And we have about, I'm going to say 5 ladies. And this is history for us. 5 ladies that is going to be initiated from all over the Orient. They're not going to be just Philadelphia. They could be Massachusetts. They're going to have Michigan. They're going to have at least 5 ladies or more. So we are going to be performing that, and we're going to perform it without the book. So we're looking to show proficiency and to show that their experience in what they're doing. So that's what the lower ladies are doing this year.
A whole
And
lot of
then we will have some training. You know, what we send out a lot of times is how to get dressed. Because a lot of times you have the membership, they don't know what they're supposed to wear. So
mhm.
we're going to do demonstrations on the dress code, how you do your pass, a lot of things like that to make the order efficient and everybody's on the same page.
The whole That's awesome. And then two, for my Sublime Prince, Grand Inspector Generals, and Sovereign Grand Inspector Generals, you heard what they said. They come with the heat. So we're gonna have to make sure. I know the team there at United Supreme Council is gonna be awesome. But when we go back to our Orients, we need to come with that same level of proficiency. You know, they're coming with the heat. So we gonna make sure we deliver at the same level on this end, right? But and then one other question I was just thinking about it because you were talking about the hierarchy earlier. How do the state grand lower ladies and the lower ladies get informed of like what you all find and like what you guys come up with over the course of the year or each month or how it works? Like how does that work?
After we receive, the 22 receive information from different Orients or different memberships, what we do is we look at it as a group and then we decipher what's best. And then once we do that, I give the information to the 22. And I said, okay, now this is what needs to be trained and sent further up. So what they'll do is send it to their state grand lower lady ruler, or if they don't have a state grand lower lady ruler, because some of our areas just have a lower lady ruler, then they are to give it to that lower lady ruler. And a lot of times you'll see that they will also send it over to the deputy. But what's happening when you send it to your state grand lower lady ruler, she is touching bases with her deputy on what's going on. So everybody is in the loop of what's supposed to be happening. And the main thing is with the 22, it's not for us to get the information and just take it back to our local. It's for us to get the information and make sure that the state grand lower lady ruler has received it, and then she can distribute it to her memberships.
Mm.
Because a lot of times you have more than 2 assemblies in one Orient. So it's very important as the 22 that they get that information out after we go over it. And, it's a lot of differences. If, believe it or not, 22 Orients is 22 different ways of how everything is being done. And as the Sovereign Grand has stated, he wants us to be unified. And that's what we're going to make is uniformity among the law ladies.
No,
So I don't know if this is of interest to you, but this year the law ladies were experienced something that this is what they're going to experience. Now I'm gonna put it in words. I know I've rambled off, bits and pieces, but let me say this. This is the year the law ladies will experience something that they have never done before by the order of the Golden Circle Working Group or the Golden Circle. Each law lady present will see and experience a level of dedication and execution, of work that will truly inspire and empower the members. I am truly excited to watch our impact, and that's a fact. It's
no.
a marathon and not a sprint.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And these are the things that we want to hear about. So as we go through, I think oftentimes people don't realize that we're always trying to improve and get better. So every single time, and what I'm hearing from you and what your group has been working on is every single year you all are doing something just to raise the bar and elevate the expectations and also the experience. Because it doesn't sound like you're doing any of this for you. It sounds like you're doing this for the Orients and for the members. And I think that's just something to be able to applaud and amend, and I really do appreciate it. I know I don't experience it, but I like the experience of it, though, if that makes sense, right? So,
And they need to look forward. We will be doing more of the burial, I would say, without the book. We will be looking into possibly maybe doing something basic for the resolution, not the resolution, yeah, the resolutions. Everybody gets a resolution and it changes, but if you have a basic guideline, at least you will know. Now, somebody had mentioned also, if I may, some of the assemblies don't even know how to do the letterhead. So that's something, maybe we'll bring that out as well. There's a lot of things that can be done, but we just have the time. And we are going to be working on the Constitution and bylaws, which whatever's in that manual is going to have to go in the Constitution and bylaws. So it's so important that each assembly work on those bylaws and get it into the United Supreme Council. Very important.
mm, and so and also too, for your brothers who are watching this, excuse me, frat trades is the technical term. If you're looking at this, that's something for us too as well to understand the importance of code and where we're at. So, well, past state grand loyal lady ruler, Gail Freeman, it's been a deed, an honor, and a pleasure to have you on this podcast. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm working on my schedule to come out there for the other event too that we talked about at my luncheon, but I'm there to be able to support any and everything that you do. And what we're going to do from here is for the memberships here, as we go through, as we wrap up this podcast, hopefully you've been inspired and you're looking at some of the things that they're doing and you take from. So whether you're in the Golden Circle or not, I think there's some things that's been spoke about or touched on that should inspire you to go back to your consistories and challenge kind of what maybe you've been doing in the past, right? Because that's our ultimate goal is always to improve. So here, this is our podcast right before United Spring Council. I'll be at USC with the family. So when you see me, come say hello to the Moving Camp podcast. But I'm super excited. I'll talk to you guys soon.